Hi guys, so today I'm here to do the boys version of my 1918 baby names video. I'm going to be talking about names from 100 years ago. A lot of you probably have grandparents or great-grandparents who were born around this time period. If you do, please let me know their names in the comments below. I love hearing names of grandparents and great-grandparents. I think it is so fascinating. My grandfather's name is on the list from 1918. He was born several years later, but his name is number 10 on the 1918 list. I'm going to be going through the top 10 boys' names from 1918, and then I went through the top 400 names and chose some names that were popular back in 1918 but that are rarely used today, but that I think could fit in very well with current name trends. So I have those to share with you guys. So I'm going to start with the top 10 names from 1918 for boys. At number 1 was John. John was a very popular name for the first half of the 20th century. It is now number 28, so it's still in the top 50. Number 2 was William, and William is now number 3, so a century later it hasn't changed too much in popularity. Number 3 was James, and James is now number 5. So both of those names, William and James, are still in the top 10. Number 4 was Robert. Robert is another one that's still fairly popular. It's now number 62. Charles was number 5, and Charles is 51. So all of the top 5 names are still in the top 100 today. All of those boys' names are very classic and timeless, so I'm not surprised that they're still popular today. At number 6 was George. George is now number 125, but I could see it rising because of Little Prince George. Number 7 was Joseph. Joseph is another one that's very timeless classic. It's number 20 today. Number 8 was Edward. Edward is now number 163. Number 9 was Frank. Frank is now number 353. And at number 10 was Thomas. Thomas is the name of my grandfather, who was born just a couple years after 1918. And Thomas is now number 48. So out of those top 10 names, 7 of them are still in the top 100 and 2 are still in the top 10. Very classic, very timeless boys' names. So I went through the top 400 and found some names that were used in 1918 that are rarely used today, that I think would fit in so well with modern trends if you are looking for something that is usable but still unique for your little boy. The first name I have is Truman. Truman was number 386 in 1918. It's an English name that means trusted man, and it ranked at number 1032 in 2016, which is the last year we have the statistics for. I think it fits in with names like Roman and Tristan and Hudson that are popular today, and you could use the nickname True, which would be very sweet. The next name I have is Odell. Odell was number 368 in 1918. It's an English name that means woad hill, and only 30 boys were given this name in 2016. Odell has that cool O beginning that is really popular right now in names like Oliver or Owen, but it kind of has like a unique sound to it. Odell, definitely a little bit different than a lot of the popular names you hear today. The next name I have is Hollis. Hollis was actually my great-grandfather's brother's name, and it was number 361 in 1918. It's a surname that means holly tree, and it ranked number 1406 in 2016. So not popular at all today. But I feel like it does fit in with names like Oliver, Silas, Holden, Tobias. It has that very soft sound while still being masculine. The next name I have is Merlin. Merlin was number 355 in 1918. I love this name. It is Welsh. It means sea fortress. You know, I love my Welsh names. It ranked number 3078 in 2016, so it's definitely not popular. Merlin is of course a name from Arthurian legend. I think it would be a very cool choice for a boy in 2018, especially considering names like Legend, Orion, Romeo are all in the top 500. I think Merlin wouldn't be as out there a choice as it would have been in the past. The next name I have is Alton. Alton was number 200 in 1918. It's an Old English name and it means town at the source of the river. So it's kind of sweet to use this name if you live by a river. Alton was ranked number 1247 in 2016, and it could honor an Albert or an Allen. And it has that ton ending that is popular in names like Colton, Weston, Kingston, so it could definitely fit in with modern names. The next name I have is Rufus. Rufus is one I've loved for a very long time. It was number 183 in 1918. It's a Roman name that means red-haired. Rufus was ranked number 3,263 and was given to only 35 boys in 2016, so definitely not popular. I think this would be an adorable name for a little red-haired baby born in 2018, and I love that you could use the nickname Rue. I think that would be adorable. The next name I have is Emil. Emil was number 154 in 1918. It's a Roman name and it means rival. Emil was number 1405 in 2016. There are a lot of EM names in the top 1,000. Emiliano and Emilio are both in the top 1,000, along with Emmett, Emerson, and Emery. And Emil also has that very trendy two-syllable feel with names like Liam and Eli that are popular right now, so I definitely think it would fit in. I actually had a great-grandfather named Emil August, first and middle name, which I think is an amazing combo. The next name I have is Willis. Willis was number 141 in 1918. It's a diminutive of William. Willis was only given to 68 boys in 2016. And Willis would be an adorable way to honor a William if you have a William or multiple Williams in your family that you would like to honor. And it has that same soft ending that we saw with Hollis that would fit in with names like Silas and Elias. The next name I have is Edmund. I have loved this name for so long. It was number 140 in 1918. It's an Old English name that means wealth protection. I am so surprised this name is not in the top 1,000. In the US, it is actually number 1,039. It is such an adorable name, and it could honor an Edward or any name that ends in Mund. And Edmund is a literary name. It's one of the names of the Pevensie children in the Narnia books, which is probably one of the reasons I love it so much. The next name I have is Irving. Irving was number 108 in 1918. It's a Scottish name that means green water, which I think is a really interesting meaning. It was number 1296 in 2016, and it has that I at the beginning that is so rare in names. There just aren't that many names that start in I. that are in the top 1,000 or that are in common use. And it also has that strong ing ending that we see in names like Channing and Sterling. So I think this would be a very, very interesting choice for a baby born in 2018. The next name I have is one that I have heard several of my friends mention that they really like and would consider using, and that is Woodrow. Woodrow is number 58 in 1918. It's an Old English name that means row of houses by a wood. Woodrow was number 1907 in 2016 with only 77 babies named Woodrow born. Woodrow Wilson was the 28th president of the United States, and I think there is a trend towards presidential names, and I think this would be definitely a standout among all the Jacksons and Carters and Lincolns. The next name I have is Eldon. Eldon was number 230 in 1918. It's an Old English name that means Ella's Hill, which is a very, very sweet meaning and could definitely honor someone named Ella. Eldon was number 2,164 in 2016, and there were only 63 babies named Eldon. So it's definitely not popular. Definitely an adorable way to honor an Ella. And it has that two-syllable sound with an N ending that is so popular. Names like Dylan and Nolan and Landon. Eldon would fit right in. Then I have Roscoe, which was number 221 in 1918. It is an Old Norse name that means doe wood. Roscoe was only given to 63 boys in 2016. This would be a very, very cool way to honor someone named Ross. But it also has that O ending that everyone loves right now, Roscoe. It's just a very cool sounding name. And the last name I have on this list is Myron. Myron was number 208 in 1918, and it's a Greek name that means sweet oil or perfume. Myron was number 1,572 in 2016, and I think this would be the perfect way to honor a Ron or a Ronald, maybe a grandfather or a great-grandfather, and I think it would be especially meaningful because it spells out my Ron. So it would be a very, very sweet way to honor someone. So let me know what your favorite names from this list were and what your favorite names from this time period were, from the 19-teens and 1920s. And if you have loved ones that were born in this period, grandparents, great-grandparents, or any relatives, let me know what their names were in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you go check out my girls' video as well, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.